So if you receive the link, you're more than welcome to come on. But again, this is a powerful ayat when we go into the essence of this. And it talks about this. It uses a word, in the Grand Quran. It actually uses a word in the Grand Quran, family. And that word that's used, in relation to dealing with uh, those who may be even stingy. Because even if somebody give you something and they throw it up in your face, they really didn't mean to give it to you. They was stingy. They have an Indian giving like mindset. You regret giving and so forth and so on. Unfortunately, in the Grand Quran, this is actually referred to as what they call niggardly, you know, in one aspect, and we're going to get into that in a second, and show our family as we share the screen, exactly what we're talking about, so, yeah, it's a lot of insight when it comes to dealing with things. So we have to feel as grateful as the person that is grateful to receive something when somebody actually has gratitude. You see, we have to be as grateful and give it, because if we didn't have it to give, we could be in the same position of the person that's receiving the benefit. If we didn't have knowledge, then we would be in the same position of somebody that's seeking knowledge, trying to get knowledge. You see what I'm saying? We wouldn't be arrogant. We would be humble in seeking knowledge. And it's the same way when it comes down to dealing with having uh, the things that are necessary to sustain one's well-being, so to speak. And matter of fact, I'm going to show you something. Watch this. Remember, I was just using the word. I'm going to go here for you so you can see exactly where we come from. Let me present my screen. Again, we want to give honors to our family, and all of those who checked in, as well, and that is viewing this live stream right now. Okay. So let me get it right here. There we go. Okay, now let me go to this document. And y'all gonna see exactly the word that's being used. Now watch this. It's gonna take you deeper into this. There it is. It's called shahah. That's the Arabic word that's being used there. It means to be what? Avaricious, right? Niggardly, stingy, greedy. So in other words, you give, but you regret giving. You give, but you still got a streak of greediness within you. Give, but you still got some selfishness in you. See it? Avarice, the exact word that's being used here. Shahun. And I had a conversation with a brother a few days ago about the Arabic, because, we can find other words in the Arabic that would say stingy, greedy, and selfishness. It's other words that would say that in here. We can go and find many other words, and our family was arguing about the word when Allah say kul huwallahu ahad. Allah is one. He was saying it means one of, and I'm telling him, no, brother, it's one. The of part was added to the book. So, but I was also trying to show that when you look at certain words, they have to be used in context. So the root is shaha, but there are many words that are connected to this root. And one here, as we see, the avaricious, niggardly, and the stingy, and the greedy, right? You have the word shahun, which is avarice, also an average part in self, and then we have selfishness, greed, and let's come up here. Niggardliness, covetousness. So you can actually covet, with your own wealth and everything it is that you have. You like, how can I covet with my own wealth? You see, anytime you become stingy, or you become greedy, so to speak, or selfish, so to speak, what ends up happening is you actually become the individual that's really begging or in want, even though you may have, because you lack the morality, so to speak, or you lack the love to be able to give. You see, so it can actually make you even go into a state of competition, because you might see somebody, even though you got the mindset, I ain't gonna get nothing. Somebody else come, next thing you know, you want to do the same thing. You see, now you want to show off. And here's another plurality in relation to dealing with it. It's actually ashihatun, right? Ashihatun. And we see ashihatan, you see? And then it says sahun again. So there are different measures that are used, you see? Now, Allah also He tell you to spend out of what you're given. That's a part of being a Muslim. But He also tell you, don't spend to the extent to where you become broke or you go crazy, so to speak. I want to show you this right here. Hold up. Let me do this and make sure I'm in here. I'm trying to get to the other site, but I want to make sure that I can put the right link up here that our good brother in real quick. Okay, and then we're gonna go back here to, I want to go to the actual ayat. And give me 1 second here, and I'm gonna open this up. Okay, there we go there. And I'm going to the actual ayat. Okay, let's see. Trying to pull up my Quran.com right now so that I can show our family here. So yeah, the main thing, Moorish Ken, is that we have to give based on the way the great God Allah has directed us to, and not be those who are ungrateful, because we keep what we give away. That's the thing that we got to remember. We keep what we give away, but we can't give what we don't have either. We also know that we can't give what we don't have. We don't have it, you just ain't got it. But if you don't have it, then, our chapter, goes deep into this special measure, and it tell you, that one that does not have it, they long, so to speak, to actually come into a state to where they nourish it in their memory, in their breast with kindness, and forget not the days of one's life when they're not able to return a particular benefit or even give, in that state. It's the thought that count. Sometimes we may be in a position we want to do more than we able to do, you see, and that can also have us in a state of mind and weigh down on us, whatever the case may be, based upon circumstances that we may be going through, situations that may be we'll say a little harsh, or whatever the case may be. And the great God Allah is leading on, and victory is sure, because the Muslim is always thinking along the line of the level of saying, to the great God, especially, allow me to have more that I may be able to be a blessing to others. That's the mindset of somebody that really want to aid and assist, so to speak, and it really gives one in the higher self a grand vibration to be able to aid and assist, somebody. They feel elated, they feel uplifted to be able to aid and assist their Moorish kin when they find them, in certain situations, or whatever the case may be. You see, this is the way a Muslim feel. We don't look at it like, this one is, this is a burden. No, we look at this as a situation to be able to show, how much we love the great God. You see? how much we love the great God Allah, you know, how much we want to give in his cause. You see? So that's what we talk about. So if we have that state of mind, more blessings will come to us. More blessings will come to us, family. And that's big facts. It is only when we try to hold those things, away, and try to hoard up or whatever, where you have more of the conflict, so to speak. Or we may even be put in a situation, to where we actually have to, we might have to be those who are on the other end. Instead of being able to have it to give, we got to reach out to somebody else, or whatever the case may be. It can come in many different ways, so it's just a grand drawing, to be able to uplift fallen humanity, you know. In the Grand Quran, you know, it goes into, I want to say, let me see this surah right here, because they got many different versions of it. I like Yusuf Ali. Yeah, I like Yusuf Ali. Here it is right here. Let me share the screen real quick. Again. Okay, there you go. All right. Bear with me too, family on the call. All right, there we go. Share this again. And it's actually over here in the Quran Corpus. And this is actually chapter 47, ayat 38, where it says, behold, ye are those invited in the name of Allah, the Beneficent and Merciful. Behold, ye are those invited to spend of your substance in the way of Allah. But among you are some that are niggardly. It says, but any who are niggardly, it says, are so at the expense of their own souls. It says, but Allah is free from all wants, right? It says, and it is ye that are needy. If ye turn back from the path, he will substitute in your stead another people. And they would not, well, there you go. They would not be like you. So in other words, there you go. He'll put somebody uh, in the position of being able to give, and they'll love being able to give, whereas you, one that is stingy or whatever the case may be. This is just a powerful drawing to be able to go into this insight and know exactly what it means to give and what it means to be of a benefit to your people. And they use these words. You can find that this is another one too I wanted to show you here. It's called miserly, miserly, so to speak. This also has to do with, in the root here, it deals with being tightly, to bind tightly, strap, strengthen firmness, to establish, make firm, hard. In other words, hard, strict. There's a connection to this. I can say tight pocket, if you want to call it that, so to speak. We can go into that as special aspect. And it don't even have to deal with physical giving. It can actually deal with trying to conceal something, to hold something back, and so forth and so on. There are other measures dealing with the same word, zala. We can find, that has this here as well. Somebody that was found, I found him praiseworthy, because he can either be praiseworthy. Right here, look at the word ifal, amadutu. And y'all know the word Ahmad is in the root of the name Muhammad, and they say, well, it means one worthy of praise. And this is coming from one aspect here, and then they have Abak Katalu, Katlu Katuhu, pardon self. Abak Katuhu. Islam, Grand Secretary of the State. Am I breaking up?
Yes, you are. The other thing is, were you changing your screens?
You
Because
can't.
we still at Quran.com.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Gratitude.
Gratitude.
Pardon, Seth. That's all right. I know what I did. I didn't save the whole screen. Let me stop it and reshare it. I'm thinking I'm sharing the whole screen. Let me see here. Entire screen.
Man, I'm on the phone only.
Islam, Sister Cammy. Islam, give me 1 second.
That's right.
Islam, give me 1 second, sister. The Grand Secretary of the State. Islam, the Grand Sister Cammy, the Grand Secretary of the State already made me aware of that. I'm fixing it now, sister. Okay. Islam, Grand Secretary of State, can you hear me now? Islam, can anybody hear me clearly?
Islam. Talking. Yes, sir. It's still a little bit low. Pardon itself.
Okay. That's what I was saying earlier about this apparatus. And it's cause it's low in the thing, and it's a little weather out there too, so that might be dealing with it. Is it coming up a little better now? Because sometimes it have to readjust itself slowly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Gratitude. Thank you. Gratitude. And let me know if it go down again, Grand Secretary of the State. Gratitude.
We'll do more. Gratitude.
Islam. All right. Gratitude. Islamism. And thank you, Brother Marvin Epplesbay, as well. So we should be able to see the whole thing now. Again, like I was showing y'all here. We have Surah 47, Ayat 38. And this same thing over here, but it's just said in a different way. It say here you are being invited to donate a little. You can see it right here. See what I'm saying? And they use the word to spend here, and it is actually latuk, latuki, no, latufiku, is the word that they're using here. So if you go into the Arabic dictionary, like I'm showing you, there are different words, that's being used here in the Grand Quran. And all of them going back to the same thing. This is the one Adzalu right here that they were using. And I was showing the difference between one that is praiseworthy, as opposed to one that was found niggardly, and they use a different word right here. You see? And let me go again. And this is what we have to look at. Here's another word, zanna. See? It means to be tenacious or grasping. That's that tight hold demonstration again. Tight, niggardly, grudge, zanan. See, tenacious, tenacians, pardon self, niggardly, greedy, avarice, grudging. So you can actually be, that's grudging is a real serious word to be used right there, family. And look at this. These are many different words for the same definition. You see? We can go through all of these different measures and we see the same thing. And then we get in verse 17, 13. They use the same word. Unukum. No matter what. So we can see how much this is stressed throughout the Grand Quran, family, is what I'm saying. Look at this here. Do not keep your hand shackled to your neck. In other words, when you choking yourself out, be not niggardly. You see? Yeah, this is a powerful demonstration. Just looking at this alone, so we can go through here and see that this is something. Katara, there's another word. There it go again. This is why I was saying to our brother, like I said, we was having a conversation. He was like, it's only one word. The word barakat mean blessings. But when we look at it here, we see all these different words that are actually being used for the word, niggardly. To be stingy, tight fist. And our grand secretary used this word right here, reaping in a scanty way. It says having a scantly, right? Have scantly. It says be barely sufficient sustenance, the bare minimum. And that's it. Give the bare sustenance, the bare minimum, which is basically considered dust. If you go into other aspects of the word, kataratun, 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 dust, you're going to get a dust from your pockets, so to speak. It hurts you to get a dust from your pockets. Darkness, stinginess, katarun, niggardly, right? Muktirun, see? To be in reduced circumstances, straighten. Oh man, it goes, and notice how the words change, based on the way this measure is being given. You see? So all of these different words that are used here, and they are mentioned in the Grand Quran. When you go into the Grand Quran, the ayats, and I don't want to go into every other ayat, so to speak, of the Grand Quran, but these are certain spots, that is pointing this word out, and it's all being demonstrated under different circumstances, but it's still referring to the same thing. See here, kada. Here's another, to restrain, and this is kada. To detain, give little, stop hand, be niggardly, akda. To reach a hard ground by digging, stop, prevent, withhold grudgingly. See it again. Not to what? It says answer the request. So when somebody reaches out, for aid and assistance, and you refuse to do whatever it is in your power, answer their request, this is the same thing right here. You see? And let me see here. We have another one. If this won't drive the truth home and make it a part of every part, here's another. This is showing you different shades of being niggardly. This is a real word too. This ain't the same as the derogatory word that we received during slavery, by the way. It says nakida, to be hard, painful, refuse what is asked. It's going deeper into telling you what's going on. So if you are in a state of being easy to where you can refuse and you see somebody suffering, then this show that you ain't got no gratitude about yourself. As if you ain't never been in a situation where you had to struggle. But struggle build character. In fact, it is what make you want to give. I was seeing a sister today, and I went into the store to get some gas, and it was a brother came out the door, and she said, "Can I get $1, sir?" She was sitting in front of the measure, and he looked back at her like, I wish I would. I was like, man, that's cold blooded. And I said, I got you, sister. And I came back out and gave the goddess a blessing. You know what I mean? But the thing is about it, some people they'll do that. And that can be painful to somebody in a situation that may not be able to fend for themselves. So a Muslim is uplifted by being able to, spend out what they have in the cause of the great God Allah. It ain't strange that this is mentioned throughout the Grand Quran over 24 times, family. See, it says to be hard, painful, refuse what is asked. Niggardly. It says, have a little water. It says with little, hold up. It says in scattered sowing. So in other words, you basically ain't even planting your seed in the depths of the soil, so to speak, because you do know you plant seeds when you demonstrate this. There it is again. Niggardly, scantly. Our Grand Secretary of the State again used that word, defective. You see, if you can't plant your seed, into the soil, of the abundance, so to speak, then ain't nothing gonna grow. You can water it all you want to, but ain't nothing going there. So, I mean, ain't no blessing gonna come up out of it. Even if you give it, if you got it in your mind state, you hate that you gave it, you still gonna have some problems, so to speak. You see, so you got to really, we got to really look into this special measure, family, and really know that it's always honorable, and this is all a part of the purification of the self. That's what we've been talking about. We've been talking about purifying oneself by giving. What it is. And like I say, a lot of this don't have to necessarily deal with physical wealth. It also has to do with the information that we have to share. You see? I want to go here because in a lot of cases we can get the exegesis as well from here in our commentary. And it actually breaks it down in different areas here in the Grand Quran. Let's see. We got one right here. Let's see here. Well, we got one of one here that they gave us. One hit here. And in this particular measure, it actually is citing ayat 36 and 8 in the Arabic uses when someone sticks and does not leave or break. It is said, Hadafi Unuku. Y'all remember this one right here. E Fulanin. And that's mentioned as well right here. Same thing right there in the Arabic. It says this is under the shackles. The word anakim. It says their shackles. It says the reference is to the chains of pride. See, we're talking about this. Prejudice, stubbornness, false customs, niggardliness, and disbelief. Such was the attitudes of the Arabs toward Islam. When Muhammad came to give them a benefit, they was too prideful to accept what was being brought to them. Like many of our people are now to us when we try to bring them the teachings of their nationality and divine creed. We take pride in teaching our people, what it is we teach them. We don't get to a state of being arrogant to the extent that, well, basically we become niggardly in our mindset. Tight fist, the hand is symbolic to the mind. So if you tighten up the fist, that's really symbolic to closing, what it is that you had to give. You're going to conceal something, basically. We ain't demonstrating like that right there. We're going to conceal and let you perish. No. Why would we do that when we got all this truth and all this information? Because knowledge, and information in this age is just like wealth. Like they used to say in the Piscean word, where man live not by bread alone, but every word that proceed forth from the mouth of God. You see what I'm saying? So which prevented them from listening and accepting the message. So we don't get in that mindset. We don't have pride. Just like somebody that is prevented from taking, something from somebody because they makes it, well, in their mind, they thinks it make them look lesser because they had to receive some aid and assistance from somebody because they was in a hard time. They become prideful. Well, let's look at the people who know that they in a hard time. They know that they need to better their condition, but then somebody come to you with the blessing that you was looking for, and you reject the blessing. You were praying for the Most High to deliver you, then he sends somebody to you to bring you out of that condition. You don't even recognize. The Quran talk about that a lot. That's that niggardliness mentality that they talk about. Shackles of arrogance, reaching up to their chins. Ain't that the symbol of a slave? Preventing them from bowing down their heads to their Lord with humility. Now it's bad. That's that mindset of what they like to call atheists. You remember I told you atheists ain't nobody but somebody that's ungrateful. You see? They know good and well that they supposed to believe in themselves. But they want a buck. all because they in a state of conflict, within the self. So even if they do know the truth, they won't even admit when the Most High done blessed them along the way. They think they come out of these situations by chance. So it also goes further into 36:9, illustrating, how disbelievers, because of the chains of prejudice and stubbornness and bad customs, are unable to look ahead and realize the bright future that would lie ahead of them if they accepted, what is being given. In other words, if they had some gratitude, they don't recognize how, things can turn around and blessings can come to them if they would but show some gratitude. Didn't it say in the Piscean records, if my people who are called by my name would turn away from their sinful way, then I heal them, and pretty much bring them up out of the condition that they in. But if you arrogant, again, you'll constantly complain about the problem, and when the solution is on the manifest, you'll never recognize it because of ingratitude, just like our people. They right now, most of our people complain about the way that Rome treat us, complain about what's being demonstrated. Here's Prophet Noble Ali came forth to demonstrate, some real charity, that you may show some gratitude. And most of our people still can't see. That's how we know most of our people don't really know what they want. Here's somebody brought you a knowledge so that you become government, a wealth in information, but you too proud to take it. You in a state of pride. You don't want it because you think what you know is best. Even though you ask them, you ever seen somebody ask you for some aid and assistance, and then you try to aid and assist them, and they already knew how they was going to assist themselves? For example, when somebody asks you for advice and you give them advice, and they gonna tell you basically what they want to do anyway, that don't make no sense. You asked me for some aid and assistance and what my opinion, and now I give you some advice, and now you already had in your mind made up what you wanted to do anyway. So why even ask me? You see what I'm saying? But that's the thing. Our people are in a state of bondage, and being enslaved, looking for a way to come up out of that. We got a wealth of information being given to us, and we don't even want it. That's coming from the Moors. I don't want to take that. And some of our people would even refuse to give based upon these same type of conditions. So this is where the niggardness and that mindset come in. We talking about similarly, because of these chains, they are unable to look back into the past and draw the right lessons from it. This is a powerful demonstration, family. Very powerful. So like we can go back and forth and on about this, but when it come down to it, in all actuality, we have to be grateful for being able to give, because some people, don't have, anything at all. Some people are in a state to where they can't even attempt to even receive something. There's always somebody in a worse situation than we are. You see? So this is powerful, family. So we want to encourage our family, again, that the more that we give, the more that we receive along the way. So there's no reason that we have to, be covetous of our own wealth, so to speak. That we gonna give so much to where we just ain't gonna. No, you actually, this is how you build up, from the deficit, so to speak. This is how you bring a surplus of blessings in. You see? And one thing about it, when you plant them seeds in the universe, they're going to always come up out of that soil, in beauty, so to speak. And it's going to come when you least expect it. In most cases, when you mostly really need, or when you're in a state of need, them blessings will come and you didn't know how that demonstration was going to happen, but that's what happened. Now people can call that spookism or whatever they want to call it, but we know better. And when you know better, you do better. We know, and it's another thing. If you can believe in your ancestors that are unseen, because most of our people will say that, I believe in the way of the ancestors, and we need to follow the way of that. But your ancestors are not here physically. So if you can follow that logic with being able to follow your ancestors and they're not here physically, then what's the problem when we talk about the great God? Because your ancestors live through you, just like the great God lives through you. So what's the big deal? See, this is where we see our people are a living contradiction, so to speak. You see, your ancestors ain't physically here. You never met some of them, but you believe they exist. Now, we know that there's evidence that they existed because you here, right? Well, the same thing can be said about the Most High. If you compare, you see, you don't physically see the great God Allah. We say in our questionnaire, can you see him? No. Where's the nearest place you can meet him? In the heart. So you can't even see your great-grandmother right now or your great-grandfather. Some of us ain't never seen no pictures of them, but we know they exist. So them part of your ancestors, right? So if you don't have a state of disbelief in your ancestors and you can honor them, then why can't you honor the great God? Make it make sense, people. You see? This is a powerful demonstration. And I'm saying that the great God is within you. I'm directing you to your true source of wealth. We always talk about what we call generational wealth over here. We talk about our gross national product being wisdom. And that's where our generational wealth spring from. We say wisdom speak from out of the highest plane of spirit life. Then what are we talking about? Since we honor our ancestors, so much, and I'm not saying this to make a mockery, I'm saying this to give us a clear conception. If we are able to honor our ancestors, Prophet Noble Drew Ali is amongst the ancestors. So if we say that he working from the plane of soul, and wisdom speak from out of the highest plane of spirit life, he's known as El Ali, the Most High. Then wisdom speak from out of the highest plane of spirit life. Then that means he said it when he was here. I brought you everything it takes to save you as a nation. All you got to do is take it and save yourself. And even now on the plane of soul, he still has manifested this government in spirit. Him along with the ancestors have been working on our behalf. Can we accept that now? Oh, we don't want to include Prophet Noble Drew Ali in that. See what I'm saying? You see how crazy, it sounds? So our people like to cherry pick. And I like to call it selective research. They like to accept a little portion over here and reject a little portion over there. And this is that mindset of niggardness that we're speaking of. The same thing. You can't grow nothing like that. You ain't going to get no abundance like that. Look at it. It said right here. It's going across the bottom of the screen, the banner. Look at what it says. It says, but receive not a favor from the hand of the proud. To the selfish and the avaricious and niggardly have no obligation. The vanity of pride shall expose thee to shame. And the greediness of avarice, pardon self, shall never be satisfied. That's crazy. You ain't gonna get no benefit, even if one give you, if they already had in their mind and heart, they was constrained from trying to give. Prophet Noble Drew Ali didn't come to us like that. Any of our ancestors who brought us the truth didn't come to us like that. Whatever it is that they gave to our people, they gave it to them, not to bring us into a state of shame. You see? So I don't feel ashamed of what Prophet Noble Drew Ali gave me. You see, I don't feel ashamed for being in a state of need and being in a state of want, of having a knowledge of who I am and this divine man bringing me my nationality and divine creed. Why should I be ashamed of that? See, we putting it in context. We taking it beyond dealing with just physical wealth. We're talking about spiritual, mental wealth. Why should I be ashamed because I was lacking? I was poor when it came to knowing what it means to love, truth, peace, to demonstrate love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, or having love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I was thinking along the line of being a Negro, black, colored man, shoot 'em up, bang, bang, kick your door off the hinges. Been there, done that. And it was this man and his teachings and the wealth that he gave me, from that aspect, the gratitude now that I am giving, to our holy prophet for bringing that, that has allowed me to be sustained thus far. And even at a time where I may be without, on the plane of things made manifest or physically, even in those times, I never lack. Because I understand the benefactor and I understand where this is coming from. Even if I were, for example, in my profession, dealing with my business, and I tell one this quick, when they like to get bold, like they're doing you a favor. See, this is that nigga mentality. When you get up on a job and say you doing some work or whatever the case may be, say you might have been working for somebody, or you may be offering your services on the contract. Either way, and one think they doing you a favor, by giving you the contract or giving you the job. If one get in a state of mind, because I'm gonna be honest with you, one thing that I've always been against and I stood against is making somebody feel like they God. Where we have a lot of our people, they are guilty of this. They talk all this revolutionary, this and that. They'll go on a European job and European talk to you any type of way, treat you any type of way, and you be loyal to them. Man, we can't do this on this job. We better do this. We better do, all this type of stuff out. But you got some etiquette then all of a sudden. But I let one know so quick that I'm not here to work for you. With all due respect, this is me. I done told a couple of them this. I don't come here to work for you. I work one for my family. But on the other aspect, first and foremost, I go, to work for the great God. So you merely a vessel through which the great God is able to allow me to sustain myself on the plane of things made manifest. But I don't look at you as the source. I done explained that to some individuals before, with all due respect. You see what I'm saying? And when I was able to get into a state to where, I can have people that's employed under me, I already had that mindset that the Most High is the one that allowed me to be able to be a blessing to somebody that may need to feed their family as well. So my mentality is totally different. I love being the aid and assist somebody. I don't use that and hold that over somebody's head to make them do crazy thing like, all right, someone has to go and take care of something that's on the home front. And then I'm going to say, I need this done right now, and then if they don't follow through because I want it done, I'm gonna try to penalize. No, we don't demonstrate like that, family. And that's one thing I always said, man, I'm gonna get my own business one day. And once I do, I ain't gonna never treat people the way that I was treated along the way. Now, me, on the other hand, I'm gonna show you something. We don't believe in Christmas and none of that type of, none of the holidays or none of that. But I would deal with, when I used to work under other people, Romans would purposely, try to have you come in, and work on different holidays or whatever that you normally would be home with your family if you practice that stuff. It didn't bother me because I don't celebrate that stuff. And then some of them will ask, well, why man, you working on Thanksgiving or you working on Christmas? I ain't gonna come out. I'm Muslim, right? I don't celebrate that right there. You know what I mean? I had some actually ask me, man, what are you, Muslim? And I would never feed into that because I already know where that's going. But nah, man, I just work. Every day is a regular day to me. That's how I dealt with it to keep the foolishness away. You know what I mean? And it don't matter what time, what day. That's just my mindset. But some of them would purposely be doing that. It's obvious they were doing that. And especially if you was probably in need of having to get out there and get it, because you got bills you got to pay and so forth and so on. So you're gonna do what you got to do to feed your family. But I never would treat somebody like that worked for me in my business. Another thing, like for example, most of the time, I'm gonna be honest here, if I go to lunch and somebody working with me, I'm buying everybody lunch in most cases. I had people say, "What? You do what, man? You crazy?" And sometimes the people don't honor that, so to speak. They might say, "All right, can I get a little pay up front?" So you pay them up front, and then they were like, come time, pay time. But man, what going on? I'm a little short. Well, we gave you what you asked for. That wasn't for free. We advance you out of what you have. So I mean, you can go in different aspects. So we trying to aid and assist you. I aided and assisted you. But it's a whole bunch of different measures. Just that, and I just went in those aspects because most of those are relatable to people. You know what I mean? All of us done been in them different situations. It may be a situation where, you have to go out of town and you may have to go tend to somebody. And I seen people actually uh tell people, well, if you go this time, you ain't gonna have no job when you come back. All types of crazy stuff. If that ain't niggardly, I don't know what it is. So if we put this in the context again, you know, um, with understanding where your blessings come from, with understanding, you know, um, where your benefactor lies, the source of what it is that you receive, the sustenance, so to speak, then you would not become the slave of another man. You not become the slave, of anybody, and nobody can utilize that, and control you. Because we seen some people, if they feel like it's their last, man, they gonna go out there. If they ain't got it, they gonna do what they say. They say, get it how you live. You see? And then next thing you know, they holler, know it like you owe it. The devil sent me for it. They gonna take it. You see what I'm saying? So we don't never go into that extent, so to speak. And we should never get into a state of pride, because that pride can also be there from being in a state. We got to be patient too when we are in a state of want and we need, and not fly off the hinges and say, all right, I ain't got it, so I don't want to ask nobody. Let me go kick somebody's door off the hinge and let me go run up in his back. No, that's pride and that's arrogance that won't allow you to seek out better means of receiving the thing you do. Our community suffer from this. And I'm saying that this is very important too, family, right now, because it's going to get real crazy in the near future for our people that don't prepare themselves with the way that things are changing. When it comes to dealing with this artificial intelligence and automation is replacing a lot of uh, positions that we call job. Mostly it's going to hit the people that's in the white collar position, the people that's at the top. But when they ain't got nowhere to work, where you think they going? Because the people that's out there doing a little labor, they'll still be doing the thing. They gonna move down, a little bit. They gonna step down a little bit and start trying to do the thing that you would normally do. Self-preservation. So where would you go then after that? A Walmart job, if they got one, without the self-checkout or any place that they can come, they gonna be trying to make sure they good. But think about the people that don't have, that's on the bottom, You know, now you living it up now for our people that get out there like the slaying death to our people. You know, drugs and all this other type of stuff, while the dollar bill's still here. But when that go away, and you ain't got no dollar bill that you can touch physically, it ain't nothing but card, what you think gonna happen? Now they laying wait at somebody ATM or at the bank or something, you know, running up in people house. You know, it's gonna be some desperate time bring about desperate measures, is what I'm saying. So we have to be educated to know when we in trying time, that's the time when we have to come together. And that's why it's necessary that we come together as a people in oneness. And it makes it easier to be able to aid and assist each other. What makes it hard is when we try to feel like I got it, I can do this by myself, I got it. And that's the mentality of all of our people. And it has become something that's ingrained in us, you know, to where we feel like, you know, I don't need no help. I got this, you know. And then if you look at other people, they have partnership, they have alliances. And this is what makes it easier for them when they come into a situation that's considered, you know, a tight situation. It's always some body to fall back on in the circle, you know. And this is reciprocal help and mutual obligation is what we call this. You know, one hand washes the other. You see, that's what I'm talking about. We got to get into that mindset, because in the near future, that's the only thing that's gonna make us survive. And I ain't talking about just with physical, you know, material, you know, wealth. I'm talking about when it comes to even the way we think. If we don't come together as a whole, having one mind, one thought, one aim, one God, one destiny, salvation, our God, unity, however you want to call it, you know, if we ain't thinking on that same state of mind, you know, we gonna have some real problems in the future. And I always like to tell our people, I call it the slave ship, you know, thought pattern. In the slave ship thought pattern, our people that's on that deck, I tell people all the time, you can imagine the people that was being brought over here. They wasn't just sitting there, you know, we gonna die and this is it, and oh, woe me. No, they was trying to come up with a plan, you can imagine, to get up out of them chains, them shackles. They were trying to think of a way to get to the top deck, you know. And then when they get to the top deck, you already know what they were gonna do to try to get free. It didn't matter what tribe they was from. It didn't matter what they called themselves. They could have been from Senegal, Senegambia, Niger, you know, I mean, Mauritania. It could have been from any of these places, the Congo. And even though they may have been warring tribes prior to being put on this ship, I guarantee you, they all had put their tribal differences to the side, and they had one thought when it came to trying to be free. Y'all seen the movie Amistad, Give Me Free. That's what they chant was. It didn't have nothing to do with no opposing ideologies, you know, beefing and carrying on with each other. You know, oh, that's the Moors over there, help enslave the people. That's them brothers over here, the Congo. They did no. Only thing our ancestors had on their mind was getting free. And we owe it to them since we honor our ancestors so much. We owe it to them because when our ancestors passed form, the ones that was on the ship and the one that came here, even the one that was already here and received some persecution, that was considered somebody else's property, other people's property. You know, they ask the European, you down with OPP? They say, yeah, you know me. Yeah, we got our property right here. You see? And so, in other words, some of our people died being considered somebody else's property, died being somebody else's commodity, died being somebody else's livelihood. We was like livestock. Cattle, did they say chattel? That's what we were. Some of our people died, family, under slavery and the conditions of that, the wretched conditions of what we read about. Go get the book 100 Years of Lynching, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Go look at some of the photos. You've seen a lot of the movies that depict what was going on doing that, so you know what was going on. So imagine, look at us right now. We don't live under that type of condition. We don't live under that type of threat. We ain't gonna sit here and lie to you like this cat down here that's supposed to be the head honcho, of the governance down here where I'm at. We ain't gonna sit here and lie to you and say we benefited from that, with that old foolish narrative. How you gonna benefit from slavery when you're still suffering under it? And it's the result of your condition right now. Make it make sense, people. But that's what they're trying to push now. They want to get the history all out of the schools or whatever the case may be. If that ain't niggardly in your mindset, I don't know what that is. But that's the way that Rome demonstrate. So looking at it from that aspect, just think of your ancestors, family. They wasn't in a serious condition that we are right now. We in a serious condition, but they were literally getting took off the count. They had to hide, they had to eat, low quality food just to survive. And then they make these things a delicacy now. But they passed form in that state. That's all they knew. We owe it to them. Even some of our people, when we come up closer to the 60s, that past form during that time, seeing our people being beaten, hosed down, and everything else, we owe it to them too. Because they, in their mind, passing form, all we ever was slaves by the time they passed form. You know how painful that have to be? But here we are now. We have the opportunity to demonstrate self-determination. And we don't want to give honors, to one that was sent to uplift us and bring us up out of this condition. We still on the slave ship and don't even know it. And that's that relationship that you secretly have with your slave master. Almost like one, that of a situation of a relationship of abuse, and both parties think that they love each other because of the abuse, that is carried out by either party. You see? And you don't believe you're receiving love unless you're being abused. So we're not here to abuse our people. We're not here to beat our people up. We're here to give our people the truth. But it seems like they don't want to respond to nothing like the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, but that in which has to do with a point of a sword. He said, our people are hard-headed, mean, stiff-necked set of people that ain't never did nothing but at the point of a sword. He said the European wasn't going to stop till he looked death into the face. So look at what Prophet Noble Drew Ali is telling us about the European mindset and also our mindset. And that can go both ways. One thing about the European, at least they say, give me liberty, give me death, and they broke away from the crown. And they came over here to try to oppress some of them. They didn't try. They oppressed the other people to get to what they got. But they had a mindset and they had a plan to try to come up out of their condition. What about us? And we don't even need no physical or carnal weapons. I'm just reflecting upon certain aspects, family, on why it's necessary, that we don't allow somebody. This is what it really boils down to. If somebody has been given the opportunity or the authority to free you, they can also enslave you. They can also enslave you, family. And that's big facts. So, receive not a favor from the hand of the proud. And to the selfish and the avarice, it says, has no obligation, and vanity of pride shall expose thee to shame. And the greediness of avarice, it says, shall never be satisfied. You see? So somebody in that state of mind, you know, is just like that desert that soak up everything that's given. It ain't gonna never be enough for them. No matter how much, just say if you was you offer your services, and you know they're gonna use you up like Sherman, so to speak. They'll never be satisfied. And you'll never be satisfied either, you know, working up under that type of behavior. So, you know, these are different measures, you know, that should be looked at, you know, and may we be all protected from this mindset of being those who demonstrate in a niggardly type way. You see, so we have to recognize, you know, the work that we're called to do. We have to recognize, you know, how we've been blessed, you know, and also recognize what it is that we have to give and what we have to offer. That's the greatest wealth that we can have, family. Giving our people the knowledge of self. Because you can give people a whole bunch of things on the manifest, but if they have everything materially, but they still are lacking mentally, then in all actuality, they're poor. They're in a state of poverty. And you can have the biggest house, the nicest car, you know, the nicest garbs or clothes, but you still are in a state of poverty. Some people, their wealth caused them to be more arrogant because they feel like somebody else don't have what they have, is beneath them. So why should they take advice from them? If you ain't talking about money, don't talk about nothing. That's what the young generation say, right? If it ain't about money, if it ain't dollars, you know, then it don't make sense. That's their philosophy now. And this is the philosophy that has caused, you know, conditions of hell to be brought to our people. So, you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to open up a little earlier, you know, because a lot of time we open up and we give our people a lot of time, you know. We heard that some of our people feel like that they don't have the opportunity to draw, but you open up the flow, they don't want to speak. So make it make sense. So what I'm going to do at this time, and somebody had a phone *6. Since you got your phone *6, we going to call on you first. Islam, who is that with their phone *6? Oh, now you gonna run.
Islam guy, man. I apologize. I had unmuted the phone and I keep it double muted. So when you were ready to open the floor, I unmuted one but not the other. That was me when you was still demonstrating.
Okay, well, do you know the subject matter, Goddess and Queen? I need to get it. I need to give you the subject matter, or you already know it.
No, I heard bits and pieces of it. It's I understand the N word.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that ain't the N word.
That ain't another language.
Sister Cammy, pardon self. That's not the N word that you normally used to now. This is not the one the slave master used. Yeah, it's a different word.
Another language. I'm conscious enough to tell you what little bit I heard.
Okay.
It was going in and out seriously.
Okay. I'm sorry about that.
Yes, what is the question on the floor?
Okay, that's what I was getting ready to give to you, Goddess and Queen. So it says, but
yes, sir. I wanted to let you know I wasn't not paying attention or something of that nature. These technical difficulties, I can't control them.
Oh no, you all right. You ready for the title now, sister?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So our subject matter that we're dealing with is called, and it's from the ayat, the last ayat in our Quran. It says, but receive not a favor. It says, from the hand of the proud, right? To the selfish and the avaricious, right? Have no obligation. The vanity of pride shall expose thee to shame. The greediness of avarice shall never be satisfied. Islam?
Yes, sir. Gratitude.
Gratitude, Queen.
This is Sister Tammy. I'm in Michigan. I rise, honor, and praise the great God Allah. I honor His Prophet Noble Drew Ali, officials, citizens, Moors here, there, and everywhere, especially my Moors kin. That favor in the first part of the ayah. That sounds like the ayah from the Moorish Holy Quran. Sometimes when you speak, I'm not sure of which one you're referring to or which translation you're referring to. That particular ayah, language, the Moorish language, is a language that is specific to the Moors, given to us by the Prophet. When you understand other forms of communication, whether it be verbal or nonverbal, your brain is able to go in two directions at one time. That's part of the foundation of being a genius. You have to know what that perfect seed of Allah gave, and if it's fully functioning. There are a few reasons why it may not be functioning. The ethers may be going slower or faster. You may be going through something, or you're not able. There are people that are not able to have the abilities that you have above the net and know the value of it. What's stored in your brain, as far as science. So a scientist can understand, a more scientist, and a Roman scientist, or any true scientist can understand when it's a part of the foundation. Do not accept favors in certain environments. You have to pay attention if it's more than one language. The name Schwarzenegger in China means black nigger. And no, I'm not using the N-word. I'm speaking to you in another language. His descendant line somewhere, because he's of European ancestry. Somewhere in his descendant line, he has shame upon his tribe, or clan is what they call them, to the point that he was labeled within his own race of people, a black nigger. Since someone here speaking to Deutsch, that's a Roman tongue, a Roman language. You need to be able to speak Moorish language here. When someone is moving swiftly or talking to you swiftly. That favor, know when you need one and know when you want one. You come from that perfect seed of Allah. Your brain has the ability to go in two directions at once. You're a grown man at the age 12. God or goddess, human nation of families. You understand? Be able to understand when you're in a situation where someone tells you to get out of their house, or you tell someone to get out of yours. Those technical difficulties. By the time I get to the floor on Saturday night, because I have them every Saturday night and have been for years, I'm frustrated at the technical difficulties. And I've been told them technical difficulties to go on somewhere without, unless they have a warrant. It's the same as a 5'4" woman telling a 6'2" muscular man, you have to get out of my house. I only knew I had one solid shot. reached up with my fist and held him in his neck to bring him down to my height at least. I want to go kill him because I'm as Morris as ever. You don't harm any living thing. The favors. If you need a favor, you never know why somebody somewhere will want to cash that favor in. Even if it's within your descendant line, he's labeled as a black nigger. All you can hear is Negro, nigger, nigger, all these different things. That's those technical difficulties. I thought we were talking about Negroes for a minute. You are God. When you got to talk to someone man to man, God to goddess, that perfect seed of Allah is all you got. Just like one shot. He kicked my dog. Living thing made by Allah. The next thing he was going to do was kick me. And I knew that much. If he got the whipping on me, we only got one shot in the solid. Bet on yourself if you're a gambling man or woman. Allah speaks to man through man. That Moorish Holy Quran is holy and divine. That minister's license is holy and divine. And so are you. They keep calling you Toby. Either you are in an environment that's not safe, where you're on some type of monitored situation, like in a dismal crib, or someplace where you can't place one phone call. Even the dismal crib lets you make one phone call.
Islam, Sister Cammy, you kind of moving up on time because we want to let some of the other Moors speak. But
that's 7 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't
realize it was 7 minutes. More perspective, nice. And what's most important is that you're not Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian.
Islam.
When they call you Toby, it's not a compliment. That's the whole thing, since we all speak Moorish language. Gratitude.
Islam, gratitude, sister. You know, and the principle dealing with being able to look forward and look back at the same time in Africa is dealing with an icon proverb, you know, in the light of the word Sankofa, you know, and Sankofa in meaning, you know, one aspect it means go back and get it, you know, because some of our people have lost their mind. But also, you know, when it come down to dealing with it, looking in both directions at the same time, it has to do with one, remembering the past to make positive progress in the future. That's Sankofa, the principle of Sankofa. Islam, we give honors to you, goddess and queen. Gratitude, Islam. Is there another Moor who would like to come forth and give their portion?
Islam?
Islam, Brother Marvin.
Islam, man.
Islam, Brother Marvin. Then we'll get you assistant chairman after the Brother Marvin Nathaniel Bay. Islam.
Islam, gratitude.
Islam, Brother Marvin Elvis Bay. We hear you, grand man.
Yes, sir, gratitude. Powerful class. And yes, I'm Dr. Marvin Elvis Bay out of Texas Country, rising, giving all praise to the great God Allah, giving the highest honors to his prophet, our prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Al-Haj Sharif Abdul Ali. Give high honors to our theocratic government, our Moorish American government. Give high honors to our Act One. I give high honors to all of our officials. I give high honors to this class, our Moorish Prospectus class, as well as I give honors to you, Dr. Shedu Amiti Amoheti Sepsuel, our National Assistant Grand Sheik of Moorish America, as well as our host and instructor of this most powerful class, our Moorish Prospectus class. I give honors to all those that aided in bringing forth this class this evening. I give honors to everything that is Moorish, our flag, our seal, our emblem, our divine constitution, our Holy Quran, our Book of Ali, our 101s, 102s, our exhuming of a nation, all of our divine revelation. I give honor. Give honor to the forerunner, Dr. Marcus Moshe Garvey, as well as I give honors to the ancestors whose shoulders we stand upon. we are the return of the ancient ones. And as you had mentioned, and as I can see going across the screen, pivoting off of ayat 6 of chapter 55 of Holy Instructions from the Prophet, Gratitude. That's a powerful chapter too. And yeah, it's a powerful class. And you covered a lot of ground as usual. And you know, and like you was mentioning about that niggardly was not, it doesn't equate with the niggardly that um, we've been accustomed to here in the hells of North America, so to speak. You know, but like as you was giving the different definitions and coming out of the Quran and what have you, it I don't know, for me it was pretty close, you know, but you know, kind of all jokes aside, and that wasn't really a joke, but um, yeah, um, we have to continue to study ourselves, you know, and this class is a is an added um, portion to in fact doing that. You know what I mean? Because it reminds us, of our character and in being sincere. Because this was all comes down to being sincere and being knowledgeable. I don't know what the Dr. Ken was speaking about how, many may not be knowledgeable to the fact, but, we're taught that it is a sin to be ignorant, so if one isn't seeking knowledge, seeking the truth, um, then, you know, even though the prophet said, I forgive you of everything you done that you did before he came, right? But he's been here over 100, been here since 100 years, and the Morris American government been on the manifest, so the truth is here today with us, you know what I mean? And we know that Allah will raise whom he please, wake up whom he pleases, And so we have to always be in remembrance of that Allah is leading on and victory is assured. But gratitude for you, no, not necessarily, and gratitude for you for the reminding us, like unto the oft reminder, this is what we're about, always bearing witness to the great God Allah. So that's why we're here, to be of service, to be, to reach out to our family, and especially those that don't know, you know. But yeah, you said you brought some powerful things. Receive not a favor from the hand of the proud, to the selfish and avarice, uh, have no obligation. I mean, that's powerful, and we think about there are those that use, say giving, as a I'm trying to find a good word for it, because we know that anytime the European go to different countries and they want to supply some aid, they're trying to take over. You know what I mean? So we know that's not in line with, say, gratitude, But as we grow into the knowledge of self, grow into the knowledge of these lessons that the prophet brought us, and as we align, as we conform to the will of the great God, we correct our behavior after so many years of misunderstanding, misinterpretation, straight out lies, and what have you, so we're constantly striving to better oneself, and we know that there are a lot of, say, baggage, bits of baggage, um, semblance of baggage, all those things still kind of hanging around, what I mean? We know that that lower self is not going anywhere, what I mean? But we are, we are rising, above the gravity of the lower self, so to speak. And I'm just so proud of being here in this Moorish American government, being a part of this divine and national movement. I'm aiding and assisting our people. And I would definitely not want to be, viewed upon as this particular Hayat is referring to. And to me, I'm not. If I have at any time, I stand corrected. That's how I see it because I'm always striving and making speedy reparations. And so, gratitude, God, man, for allowing me to offer my drawing. Gratitude. Appreciate all that you do. Islam?
Yes, sir. And gratitude and appreciate you, brother, for the measure. And I like the draw when you were speaking earlier. That's a true statement. It is a sin to lack knowledge. In the branches of the science of Islamism. In fact, there's a measure where the great God Allah say, "Know me before you worship me." So none of us should be in a state of poverty when it comes to knowing who we are. After the Prophet has brought what he brought. So we give honors to your brother for that drawing and the grand measure you gave, Brother Marvin Edwards Bay Islam. But all right. Well, I heard our Assistant Grand National Chairman, Dr. Torre Anu Rasul Simpson Bay Islam, Grand Man.
Islam, Grand Man, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, loud and clear, brother. Islam.
Oh, man, praise Allah, praise Allah. Islam, Moorish America, let me rise and give all praise to Allah. Honor to our Holy Prophet, Noble Ali, and honor to everything that is Moorish. Grand National Flag, emblem and seal, divine constitution, and bylaws of Moorish America. Islam, we give honors to our Moorish respected class, sponsored by Moorish American government, and we give honors to our host instructor, our very own National Assistant Grand Sheikh, Dr. Stu Abmenti Septuel. Grand class, grand Moorish respect, grand man, and as you was bringing forth your demonstration, man, I tell you that master word, that's some great information, coming with, the niggardly, and stingy, and all the things that are not of a prosperous gain. But moving forward, coming from ayat 6, but receive not a favor from the hand of the proud, to the selfish and avaricious have no obligation. The vanity of pride shall expose thee to shame. The greediness of avarice should never be satisfied. It makes me think of when our beloved Prophet, Noble Ali, he says that, by you being born here doesn't make you a citizen. And also when he says, I forgive you of everything that you did before I came, now you are responsible for your deeds. And, our deeds, our Prophet, Noble Ali, brought us everything that it takes to save us a nation. And now we are able to demonstrate the gratitude. We're able to demonstrate the expansion of the holy breath of the truth that Allah sent to us, in due time, on time, with our holy Prophet Noble Ali, because our Prophet Noble Ali has brought us, he brought us beneficence. He's brought us the ability to return, from which we came, our divine origin, which is our divine creed and our nationality. So we give honors to our prophet, because even to proclaim our nationality in our Moorish American government, Act 6, like you say, you don't have to pay a fee. You don't have to, get all this paperwork done. You don't have to, worry about, your brother re-enslaving you. Being that slave catcher, being that one that is selfish and avaricious, being that one who is in that lower self, and taking advantage of those that are less fortunate, or taking advantage of those who have, faith in just the melanated Asiatic Muslim who says he or she is a Moorish American national. So we give honors to being a clean and pure source, a clean and pure glass, because we are Grand Man, he taught us, what true civics, and also, our government, our Moorish American government, like you said, it's not stingy. It's not. Um, it's not barren. It's not, as you would say, the National Grand Secretary of State would say, a scanty. Because we don't have this, you don't have to do nothing but to proclaim your nationality and know and think that your condition could be better and know who made you and have the belief, faith, and fruition. Because to be a Moorish American national is to be God on the manifest. So we give honors to, just say true civics, in our theocratic government, our theocratic society. Because our prophet lets us know to return to church and Christianity, because the church and Christianity has now brought forth an expansion, to the Moorish American nationals here in America, being the true Americans. However, Christianity, the church and Christianity has brought forth separatism, has brought forth mental slavery, and thinking that we are, thinking that we are 14th, 15th Amendment citizens, thinking that we are United States citizens when, well, you didn't even proclaim a nationality. So we give honors to our prophet bringing us an everlasting peace. There's not an end to this love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. You see, so for us, government, our Moorish American government, our theocratic society is the order of each and every manifest. So therefore, Grand Man, our pure education that we bring forth here that our prophet brought forth to us, we're able to be citizens in our own Moorish American government. We are able to understand that seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. This is being civil. This is government. To seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. And knowing that our prophet, Nabuja Ali, he brought forth everything that we need to the fallen Negro state in which we were in. And so now we're able to expand Islam. And just to close it out, there is no history in the United States of America, the corporation, that has ever brought forth anything of benefit, anything of expansion to the dominion, to this dominion that we know as Moorish America. We know that they are just occupying. They're 3,000 miles away from home. But the prophet said, well, Moors, when you get on top, treat the European nice. So that means a superiority. That means one that has a status and a jurisdiction. You see, so seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. It's an honor and a blessing to be home in our theocratic government. It's an honor and a blessing to have a divine creed and nationality to go with the mind, body, and soul, status and jurisdiction, and a founding father and framer, Islam. So seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. Because with this, Grand Man, there's no greediness, there's no shame, there's no vanity or pride, just being able to, bring back the benefit to our Moorish kin as we are doing tonight in our Moorish perspective, as we do each and every manifest when our national conference calls. So we give honors to the lesson and the blessing. Long live Moorish America. We love you. Peace and love.
Islam, and gratitude, Grand Man, for the blessing and the contribution. That's right. We ain't got no business being stingy up in here in this Moorish American government. And we ain't talking about your money neither. We talking about your contribution. What it is that you have to bring forth. What is it that you have to bring forth to uplift your nation and your people? You gonna hold that back? What you don't say everything. Islam. All right now. Yeah. Gratitude. I know we got some philanthropists on the manifest, so y'all bring y'all measures to the manifest. We definitely don't want to demonstrate niggardly. Islam.
Islam.
Islam, Sister Curta Bay. Uh-oh. Now the whole gold pot. Now, come on in here, sister.
Islam. Didn't you I need hear to take a crickets. bit? Oh, no, I don't. Wait a minute. Excuse me, God, man.
Sister Cam and Sister Diane Carter Bay speaking, goddess. All is well. You there, Sister Carter Bay? Carter Bay?
Islam,
Islam.
gratitude, God, man, peace and love. Yes, honors has already been given. This was a powerful class, like Dr. Marvin Evans Bay was saying. You cover a lot of ground, and like you said, I tell you, I always enjoy uh, 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 attending these classes because I learn something new every time. Like, like this word niggerish, and I didn't realize the way you broke that thing down. I didn't realize you can use it that way. And gratitude, God, man, for such a powerful class in that ayat. And what really stood out to me when you were sharing, about how you used to always think about when you shared about how people be on the jobs and how you didn't get into the holidays and I was the same way, even when I was in the church. We didn't celebrate the holidays and things of that nature. And I always wanted to try to treat people right. And I always thought too, I never was one who was greedy. We talked about that in this ayat. This is a powerful ayat. It say, but receive not a favor from the hand of the proud. And when I think about being proud, in the passing, in the Bible, I believe it says, uh, the great fall come before that pride. A person who's real proud is just waiting for that big fall to come. And then you talk about selfishness and greediness and it says the greediness of avarice shall never be satisfied. See, when you your heart is not pure, when you don't get these teachings, because see, our holy prophet, he said, I brought you everything. But he told us, he said, if you ask me what to study, he said, study self. And if we truly study ourselves, uh, uh, we won't be bothered with no. In this eye, it talks about pride. If you really truly studying yourself and you know who made you, as we always say, who made you? The great God of love. If you truly doing that, you won't have no pride. You're not gonna be selfish. You're not gonna be you're not gonna be exposed and be in a position where you will be made to be shamed. You won't be greedy because you know that these are things coming from the Lord's self. And if we learn anything by getting on these calls, we know when things are coming from the Lord's self, or when we're speaking from the highest plane of spirit life. We know that. Why? Because our prophets say, my sheep know my voice. And he say, a stranger, they ain't gonna they won't follow. And he say, my sheep know my voice, and ye boys have better take heed. So when you taking heed to his teachings, oh, Dr. Shahid, I'm just so, this was such a powerful class. And we talking about gratitude. you know that gratitude goes a long ways, y'all. I mean, it's such an honor to be able to be a part of this divine movement of the great God of love. And I'm always thankful and grateful, got that gratitude for what he's doing, for what he's doing in my life, for what he's doing in this government. And I just sit back and watch him. Like that, I believe Brother Marvin Evans Bay say, we're conforming to his will. It ain't about us. It ain't about what we want or what we want to do. It ain't about none of that. It's about his will, because this is his divine movement. It ain't ours. And the prophet say, he the one say, I brought you everything to save a nation. Now you take it and save yourself. We didn't say that.
That's what our prophet told us to do. So this is love. Like I say, God, man, this is such a powerful class. Gratitude for letting me share. I'm just enjoying everything. It's love, peace and love.
Islamism, peace and love, goddess. Powerful measure. Gratitude for that drawing Islam. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, man. Any other more who would like to come forth and bring forth their contribution? Don't be bashful, Moorish King. Come on up in here.
Islam?
Islamism. We hear you, goddess and
Islam,
queen.
gratitude. Let's arise and give praises to the great God Allah, honors to our holy prophet, Noble Jawali, honors to our government, our Moorish American government, honors to our officials, our national Grand Sheikh, our national assistant Grand Sheikh for a beautiful Moorish perspective this evening, national Grand Chairman for being a savior of our nation, and national holy body for assisting us in bringing this holy temple in order as our national and international government is now in order with our supreme law. Kitabun for y'all, Moorish Virgin Islands. Again, Dr. Shadu, thank you for a beautiful class because I really needed those explanations of how not to be and how sometimes I get caught up in it. Because to be legally and being an avarice is really something that someone did not realize that they are. Being greedy of materialism, being so grabby, and not knowing that they are always attracted to what is really not necessary. Because as we know, the great God of the universe does not require a sacrifice. So we have to pray to open our lower dantian, to release the pain, to release the shame, and to release the lower self-thinking of accepting lower characterizations of any entity that may hinder ourselves in our self-development and the reconstruction with higher technology downloaded from our great ancestors, and also the correcting codes, that speedy reparations. We must pay ourselves, as our Grand Sheikh says, our love to each other must be enforced at this time because there's an evil spirit on our divine beings to be greedy and to be grabby and to not break the spell of being broken, but to not know that they are now ready to become one with the great God Allah, to conform to His will, and know that you have broken the spell of this evil spirit to be greedy, because we know that it's necessary to have commodity in order to get materialism, in order to, of course, to have our progenies comfortable, to continue to study themselves, because we still have to realize that we are a newfound nation. We have to realize that we are not greedy, but we are a nation that knows the necessities of living a pure and clean life. Pure, clean water is necessary, pure, clean clothing, pure, clean environment, and we have the technology to make ourselves and our lives and our government one that is necessary for us to go through. Yes, we have been through all the ways of life, and we have to realize we have to love our lower self in order for us to be our higher self. So I say with that, yoga, strength training is my spiritual strengthening, to know that as a soldier, it is necessary to have humbleness, to bow down and realize that this is the time to receive the lessons of knowing what not to be, but to be your natural self. Gratitude, Islamism.
Gratitude, Islam and Islamism. We give honors to you, sister. You made me reflect back when I was dealing with this one guy, and he was trying to get his business off the ground, and he was into the church real heavy. He knew I was a Muslim. He was a younger brother too, you know, older than me, but still younger, so to speak. And this particular one, I would see how he would treat certain individuals. He told them, if y'all ain't got y'all tools in here, I'm taking something from your paycheck. He wanted to have a reason to take something from everybody's paycheck. And, you know, he couldn't do that to me because, you know, I wasn't going for that type of demonstration. But, you know, him and it was another brother that was in the church, and he was a preacher. He had a whole congregation. And I remember one day he told me, you know, as we were speaking, and his name was Solomon. And he said, God ain't gave me nothing. Everything I got it on my own. You know, and I say, oh man, I say, well, you know, brother, you know, it's easier for a camel to walk through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven, according to the biblical text, right? You keep on thinking that. I say, oh, so you one of them prosperity preachers, huh? That's exactly what I am. A prosperity. And you know, it reminded me of the thought, you know, of that measure, and the character of these brothers that was supposed to be in a particular belief system, but yet when it came to the finances, it brought a whole nother beast out of them. And this is often the case with even the domestic relationships, you know, between the man and the woman. You see, it can be a brother or sister, you know, trying to get what they can out of each other. And when it's the reservoir is empty, then next thing you know, all HELL and EO break loose. So, you know, it's crazy because this is really showing us the illness of society. And this is pretty much universal protocol when we dealing with, you know, the way that the world works, as they like to call it, quote unquote, right? This is the way the world works in the real world, as they like to call it, you know. So, man, that's something else, something to think on, and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 to grow on. But gratitude, sister, for that draw, and it just had made me think after listening to you, you know. But Islam, all right. Is there any other more who would like to come through that's biting at the bit, you know, and they got a contribution that they want to, you know, bring forth before we go to the official? Islam, family, come on.
Islam, this is Dr. Bati Bay with the Iowa Territory. First, I'd like to rise and give my man the praise to Allah, to the prophet. I'm starting theocratic government and world, also a flag, still emblem of our divine constitution, with angels, monkeys, and citizens alike, honest to all the Moors that spoke before me, all the ones who will speak after, and honestly for this class. And, you know, when I was looking at gratitude, it's crazy because gratitude on the frequency scale is higher than love. You know what I'm saying? And so it's interesting that on the frequency scale is higher than love, because if you have gratitude, if you have that gratitude at all times, that means that you know what I'm saying, you don't really have any condition that you can be bothered with. Ain't no real way to, you know, disturb you as long as you can. It's almost like you see and I'm trying to remember how we say it in the morning, man. We get the, you know, you see the blessing. You see the blessing in everything, you know, even through the hard times, you see the blessing. So that level of gratitude will always, in a sense, being thankful for what you got at all times is really the, you know, and the crazy, I'm about to say this, but gratitude is to have gratitude for all that you have in all climes and times seems to be on the frequency scale more important than love. And because you got to go through love in order to get, you do got to go through love to get to gratitude on the frequency scale. You know, and so, and I think love, when you have enough love, you are ultimately
establishing gratitude. When you have love for everything and there's not no hate in your heart, and that love is purity. So in a sense, you are in your God state when you feel gratitude, because you're not bogged down by the conditions. You're not bound down by the many ties. And so that's just a little that I had is on piece of love.
And gratitude to your Consul General, our brother Bati Bay. Yeah, you couldn't have said it greater, and that's real. Gratitude being, on the highest when dealing with the scale of frequency, that means that love will lead you to everything that will make you grateful. All you got to do is love yourself and love your people, love your prophet, love your nation. Powerful, grand man. We give honors to you. Yes, sir. Love will open up the way, remember? Islam. Well, all right. Want to give honors to all of our Moorish kin who came forth and gave their contributions, and their intellectual donations, and spiritual philanthropy. Want to give honors to all of y'all that came forth, Moors. At this time, we're going to go to the official, starting with our beloved goddess and queen, Sister Alseta Moon El. Islam. Are you there, goddess?
Islam.
Islam, goddess.
Gratitude. First, let me rise and give all praises to Allah and all honors to our Prophet Nabi Ali, honors to our Moorish American government, our officials of our government, and our citizens. Honors to goddess and queen, Dr. Sanati Nusrat L, for taking registration and reading our subject chapter 2 week. Honors to you, our National Assistant Grand Sheik of Moorish America, Dr. Forgive me more. Our National Assistant Grand Sheik, Dr. Shadur Mehdi Amuhaji Shepswell, for opening our conference call according to law and for also bringing forth a grand Moorish perspective this evening. Honors to all my Moorish kin that brought forth their grand measures of understanding also. And can I have the subject matter verbatim, please, more in your words?
Oh yeah, Islam, no problem, sis. It's actually the last ayat in our chapter. But receive not a favor from the hand of the proud. It says to the selfish and the avaricious. It says have no obligation. The vanity of pride, it says, shall expose thee to shame, and the greediness of avarice, it says, shall never be satisfied. Islam?
Islamism, gratitude. Praise the Lord for our prophet giving us this lesson. Because that's so true. And that's why I'm happy that the brother, I remember when our brother, Grand Mufti, Dr. Khanshu, him big, first started using that word gratitude on our conference call. And I said, man, that's a good word to use. Another part of our Moorish language, the way we speak to each other. And I say it all the time. I say it even in my text messages, I say it. And it shows appreciation for one's time, one's advice, one's wisdom. Our prophet let us know, and our National Grand Sheik, Dr. Strappers and Minrai always say an attitude of gratitude. Because it's important to not envy that benefactor, but show gratitude to that benefactor. Show that you appreciate the time that they took in my infancy to teach what I needed to know. And sometimes I make the joke with people when they say, thank you for your patience. I said, no problem, because someone had to be patient with my knucklehead self. And they laugh. Because as the few more that we have, that we try to make sure that everyone feels what? Appreciated and accepted. And so that's one way of showing and giving back to humanity. Gratitude. And when it comes to the selfish and avaricious, well then we could see them for who they are anyway, because they're gonna always show their true self in that lower nature. And so we understand that we can't get righteousness out of unrighteous sources or behaviors. That's why prophet teaches these divine lessons, so that we can understand. We could use that what? That discernment. We're able to understand the difference between truth and falsehood. Because he let us know, man is what? Truth and falsehood strangely mixed. And like you demonstrated a few minutes ago, one thing that you find out where you stand on in certain relationships is demonstrated so much. And I've seen it right in front of me. One paid the bill and the other one trying to get the change. Man, praise the Lord. Our prophet let us know early that don't owe no man nothing except for love. Give him that love. If you have a bill and you have a debt, pay it off quick, because you don't want your brother or sister to think that you're trying to take advantage of them. And so, and even if you know you can't pay it, let them know. Because our Father God Allah sees the heart, and he knows where you stand. He knows where you stand, and he understands that your heart means to give it back, even though at the time you might not be able to. So the circumstances will move in your favor, because the universe knows where your heart is. And that's why our prophet tells us, don't make no oaths. Don't be no bearer of false this. I mean, there's so much lessons that our prophet teaches so that we could understand what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and who to do it with or not. It's demonstrated throughout our more divine lessons. So as long as we continue to do what? Be about our Father's word. Show that we about our Father's business. Give that love. Demonstrate that truth. Bring forth that peace. Definitely stand on justice. And freedom is inevitable. Because it's all part of our daily acts or daily actions or our thoughts, words, and deeds. Gratitude for calling me for God, man. Peace and love to all my Moishkin Islamism.
Peace and love and Islamism. We give honors to you, sister. You know, gratitude for that measure. Praise be to Allah. All right. Well, let us call forth our Grand National Mufti, Dr. Khonshu Mark Herubey. Islam, you there, Grand Man? Well, Islamism, well, we know our brother most definitely about the business for our Father God Allah. Islam, gratitude to the Grand Man. Well, let us call forth our Grand National Secretary of the State. We know she got a grand drawing, you know, to bring to the manifest, you know, about this measure dealing with this avaricious drawing. Islam, you there, Grand Secretary of the State?
Lost the thought. Woo!
Oh, shit, the front door.
I should say Islam. Grand class, Dr. Shaheed.
Islam.
Islam Moriskin. Praise the Lord. First of all, I want to rise, giving all praises to our Father God Allah, giving honor to our Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, the last prophet in these days and times,
giving honor to our Moorish American government, all of our officials, staff, Swift angels, muftis, divine ministers, most especially our Moorish kin. Giving honor to all those Moors that spoke before me, all those Moors that will speak after me. Giving a special honor to our National Assistant Grand Sheikh of Moorish America, Dr. Shedwa Menti El Mohedded Shabsuel, for opening our meeting according to law. Also, hosting a Grand Moorish Perspectives class this evening. Giving a special honor to our National Assistant Grand Secretary of State, Dr. Dendra Ania Kurtabe, for taking registration and reading our subject chapter for the week. It's been a Grand Moorish Perspectives class, giving honor to Act 1 and giving honor to all of our Moorish kin that brought forth their measure. Star 6 your phones, Moors, please. Our chapter on gratitude and our subject matter coming from Ayat 6 of our chapter for the week. Receive not a favor from the hand of the proud. To the selfish and avaricious have no obligation. The vanity of pride shall expose thee to shame. The greediness of avarice shall never be satisfied. And I want to give you honor, Dr. Shahi, for all of these keys that you brought forth in class this evening. And when I looked at all of those words coming from the Arabic dictionary and the various meanings that tied right into our subject chapter for the week. And when you were coming from the exegesis, which is a critical explanation or being able to bring clarity or interpretation to a matter. And the thing that really stuck out is when you were dealing with something sticks and doesn't leave under the shackles. Chains of pride, prejudice, stubbornness, false customs, niggardliness, and disbelief. And when I looked at false customs, the prophet spoke about us as a people having mental slavery. And false customs is part of the demonstration of that, because the customs that, in reference to straying after the gods of Europe of whom we know nothing of, those are not the customs of our ancestors, our forefathers, or our special people. And when the prophet was speaking about we don't recognize Islam because it is our own, so in this new era of time, it's time to start recognizing what is our own, and in that way, we demonstrate gratitude. And of course, I had to look up pride, or the hand of the proud, which is dealing with in the mindset of conceit, ego, somebody being condescending. And see, this is us being in service to humanity. We definitely have to look out for that aspect of the mind state, thinking that we're better than somebody or looking down on somebody, because that's an aspect of niggardliness as well. Being immodest, no moderation in what is being demonstrated in the mindset. Scornful, and our chapter spoke about those who look on others with scorn, where some have solved problems much harder than we have solved. So we definitely don't want to be in that mindset as well. Or boasting and bragging. That brings about having strings attached. And dealing with that kata, K-A-D-A, it also, as the definition spoke about, to stop or prevent. And it just brought to mind when the chairman often spoke about, even in the midst of progress, some kind of knot will jump off. So we have to be ever at the ready when it comes down to keeping in check our own lower self and making sure that, because ego and vanity are blinders when it comes down to unfolding into the consciousness that we and our Creator are one. So we want to make sure that we are not the vehicles of trying to prevent progress or trying to prevent unity or that oneness of thought by demonstrating those degrees, coming from our lower self, especially when it comes down to demonstrating greediness or avarice. And the other aspect that stood out to me is dealing with favor. When it spoke about, where is it now? Receive not a favor from the hand of the proud. So favor is dealing with support, being promoted, being chosen, and reflected on it, the aspect of receiving applause from one's brethren and things that are of no worth. So we've got to be careful of these chains of pride having us look for looking for applause or cheering on or egging one on, but it's in the things of naught. You definitely don't want to get hung up in that aspect, where it states misery loves company. So you're looking for those things to support the demonstrations that one does from a lower mindset that is of no benefit or worth. And these things also lead to a state of demarcation. So what I got from our class this evening and our chapter for the week is that we are here as one family bearing one free national name. We are here to come together in unity, to work together, to willingly be of service to our brothers and sisters and humanity. And that can't be done when you got a closed mindset or being stubborn, not willing to work together, because we're supposed to encourage one another and aid and assist one another. And that was a powerful degree when you were speaking about that slave ship mentality, because we're definitely, our people are in a state of crisis. You can't get no more crisis than a state of genocide. Our ancestors recognized that they needed to come together no matter what. It didn't make a difference. If you deal with a house that's burning, what you going to sit there and say, well, I don't like the dress that you have on today. All you're going up in smoke, as opposed to putting aside the naught, the foolishness, and the folly, come together, being able to be open to enhancements and improvements when it comes down to the benefit of not only us as a people, but we see that the rest of the nations need love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So this has just been a grand measure. We know that we've got to keep ever at the forefront our holy and divine instructions, the lessons of our prophet, and being able to see the God within each other. So gratitude, Moore, for calling me forth. Much peace and love to all of my Moorish kin. Islam.
And gratitude, Grand National Secretary of State, for that powerful measure that you brought forth with clarity and authority. We give honors to you for that grand draw, and it don't get no plainer than that. Man, with a real philanthropist, please stand up. We give honors to you and the tribe of endurance, because that is something that has been given to us as a nation. The example on how to endure. It's some wealth in that too. And all of us can learn from that. So speaking of endurance and talking about that Bactrian camel with two humps, but let us call forth our Grand National Chairman, Dr. Akin Acton, Pert M. Heru, to the coming bay. Islam, you there, Grand Man?
Close as a thought. Can you hear me?
Oh, Islamism.
Without the schism. Give praise to Allah and honor Prophet Noble Raleigh, Stimatan to Noble Raleigh for bringing us, his Moorish American nationals, everything that we needed in order to save ourselves as a nation. He brought us our own government, our own history, forefathers, ancient and divine creed, principles, standard. More, we are just blessed, just honored. And when I look at this chapter that we're into now, like chapter 50, the holiness from the prophet deal with gratitude. But look, you can't be a Moorish American Muslim without being grateful. You've got to be grateful. It's all in your prayer. It's letting you know who made you. Before the prophet part, you had a clue. You thought your mom and daddy, if you knew who they were, and there's a good possibility during the time of slavery, you didn't have a clue. You were just here. So we want to extend much honor to the prophet for bringing us everything it takes to save a nation. A magnanimous judge. And more, that's why I love you. Because it's that's part of me. I wouldn't even be natural if I didn't love you. Islam is without a schism. Peace.
Islam, we know you love us, Chairman, and we love you too, Grand Man, for being here on the manifest. putting up with the mindset of our people, even the one that don't want to be free. And we still extend that same love to everybody, and we give honors to our Grand National Chairman. Goodness gracious. He done seen it many times over when it comes to the way our people try to think and think they thinking. But in that thought too, just on high vibration Moors, Prophet Noble Drew Ali told the Moors, he said, Moors, look your best. And a lot of that has not to do with what it is that we dress in, so to speak. That's the one grand aspect, but it also has to do with the way we present ourselves before the masses. So keep that in mind. And at this time, we gonna call forth our National Grand Sheik, Dr. Serapis Amin Rael, Islam. I know our Sheik love this one here. Islam, you there, Sheik?
Islam.
There he is. Islamism. Oh yeah, we waiting on that wisdom.
I'm gonna have to wade through this love to get to above. Praise Allah for this grand measure this evening, as always. Grand demonstration, and truly one that has nothing but gratitude. That should be one's attitude. In the context of setting it out, we run through this life armored with persuasions that this is mine and I'm going to have it and I'm going to take it. And when you come with the measure of putting on a false coat, you think that somebody owes you something because you come with them with their coat on, not realizing that the one who gave it to you was sent to you from God. And God wanted you to see that you was being noteworthy of being not counted among the grateful. Because it's a great thing to be thought of in such ways. Then you got ones that claim to be grateful, but they turn around and you find out they really hateful. They want to take what you gave or had to give, and they live off of it. But when you come to them as a friend of mankind, because you demonstrate the duty of a Muslim, the duty of a Moor, the duty of man or woman, you're demonstrating what Allah has put upon your heart to demonstrate. And so I know since I've been back here on planet Earth and gone through the ritual of unfolding again, I have never met, should I say, someone who has aspired to be a Moorish American Muslim, to be grateful. Everyone I've talked to, these are the humble words and actions and deeds that one unfolds. And this is what our chief was talking about tonight, some of what he was talking about. To be ever mindful that we're here for a bigger purpose than we can even imagine. We speak on a daily basis about knowing the sweet God, but we fail to go inside our heart and make sure that it's clean. Trying to mix foolishness with folly. But in the same breath, we give honor to our brothers and sisters that strive to bear the name of true and faithful. These ones here, we account, all of us account as being grateful. And so this has been a grand demonstration. Jake, and we sure appreciate you setting it out. Everything happens in time, don't it, Mo? Peace, love, and law.
Islamism. Right on time, Sheik. Not a minute too soon and a second later. Gratitude. Powerful measure, man. Y'all got to go back and check this one out, Moorish Ken. You know, our Moorish Ken most definitely was pouring the wealth on the nation. So, Islam. All right, Sheik. You want me to carry this demonstration out, or you got it?
I would be pleased to hear you cast it to the other side. Praise the Lord, bro. Go ahead.
Islamism.
You got it?
Oh yeah. Hold up. Can you hear me, Grand Man? Let me make sure I'm unmuted over here. Can our family hear me on the conference call?
Islam.
Okay,
We can hear you more.
Okay, gratitude. Islam. I just wanted to make sure. Islam. We love you, family. Islamism without the schism. A warning from the prophet to be read at every meeting. January 15, 1929. I hereby inform all citizens that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work in their homes or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any citizen or group of citizens who hold malicious feelings toward the government or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the laws laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where our prophet found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet, Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the government is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the government. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. By order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, we bring forth this divine decree. Chapter 25, a holy covenant of the Asiatic nations. Ye are the children of one father provided for by his care, and the breasts of one mother have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Moorish movement, divine movement, everlasting movement. Go in peace, Muslims. Islamism without the schism. I want to give honors to everybody who came forth as well in the world of YouTube. Islam, Moors.
Grand class.
Great class, great class. That's your sister Grand Sheik. Grand class, grand class. Don't forget to take your dues. Don't forget to take your dues.
Islam.
That's the schism.
Islam.
Love y'all. Great class, man. Thanks, my class. Great class.
This session is no longer being recorded.
Islamism, baby. You know they say with a closed fist you can't receive nothing, but if you open it up, you can get it all.
I forget one. That's right.
Islam, Moors, we love you.
Arm, leg, arm, head.
Yeah, arm to the leg, arm header. That's right.
Like a whole man.
We love you, Moors. Thank you, Moors. You know, for your love.
Love you. The love.
Peace and love. See you, Moors, at the next juncture. Sunday school.
Islam.
Yeah, there it is.
Islam. Peace and love, Moors. All right.
Goodbye.
Want to give honors to our family. Also, beloved family showing up, Noble Brian L. Honors to your grandman Charles Boy L. Brother Yakub Hamid Gamma Bay. Brother R. Neil Bay. Honors to your brother. Man, honors to all of our family, man. And make sure our family like, share, and subscribe, and keep putting this information out there, because we're going to keep doing the same thing. Islamism without the schism. We love you. Peace.